Why is it always here? It's been a few days since our Dwarven adventure, but we're back and we're playing again. Did I win the Dwarf run? No, I didn't. All right, let's play the Dwarf run. All right, let's do a recap because I don't remember what was going on because it's been a few days. It looks like it's been a little while since Cassandra attacked. We did have a pretty scary attack last time where a raid dropped in our back door and they forced themselves into our back door and it hurt. It hurt really badly. But we managed to survive. We did take some grenades to the legs. Some people lost some body parts, but we didn't have any deaths and we did defend them. Ever since that happened, we built some protection on our back door. So our back door now has this grate on it that things can't fit through, and therefore we can defend. So that was annoying. They took out a lot of our power, a lot of our steel supply. Had to go into remaking it. We have started mining again. We also finished our research and we are super scanning. So we're trying to find gold and stuff like that right now. And I'm trying to also decide whether we want to do the royalty ending. I'm leaning towards it just to be thematic. So I haven't done a royalty ending in a while. Honestly, the ending event is pretty much the same as a ship launch. And we could actually do the ship launch. Like I could just build a ship right now. I could just build a ship right now. But I would kind of like to go with the themed bit, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. If we get kind of sick of the run and waiting around to get stuff from the Empire. Oh, that reminds me. I think there's something that past Adam left for me to take care of. Hang on. Ah, yeah, we got this. Now, the good news is this is about a third of what used to be here. So this mech cluster in part is still here, but it's not too bad. So we still have this past Adam. The guy always ruins my life. So anyway, we got this. They actually have taken out like 3 raids. So that's pretty awesome of them. Way to go, mechs. Thank you. Appreciate you. You might be also asking yourself, Adam, why are some of those mechs more white than others? Well, you're not allowed to ask anyone that. You can't ask anyone why they're more one color than another. But I'm going to answer it anyway. The mechs that come out of the mech assembler are a newer color. They're white. They're not aged. They haven't been out in the environment. So the ones that come out of mech assemblers are a lighter color. It's a nice little detail. Have you used Chupacabra as a map seed yet? No, I have not. No. Never watched the melee run though. The melee only run is still the hardest run I've ever done, but that's going to change. I'm going to do a challenge run after this one that I don't think is actually possible. Like I know I've said that before. I didn't think the melee run was possible, but this next one, the next challenge run I'm going to do, I really don't think it's possible. Don't think it's possible. But I'll give you more information on that once we start getting towards the end of this playthrough. But I am looking forward to trying it. Under 18 only run, that would be way easier than this next run. Way easier. Like I said, this is going to be way harder than melee only. Fog War Silent Raids, no, way harder than that too. Fists only, I think it's actually harder than fists only. Believe it or not. But anyway, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. If anyone can make it possible, you think I'll be able to? Yeah, man, I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't think... All right, so we did a world first challenge in Darkest Dungeon. So in the first Darkest Dungeon game, I did a hardest difficulty, no lights, no torches, no deaths the entire playthrough on the hardest difficulty. Super crazy. First person that we know of in the world that got it done. Took a very long time. I think this next RimWorld run is harder than that. Incapable of Violence Only. I think the Incapable of Violence Only run would be easier than the next run. I'm not even joking. What's my base worth? Let me take a guess. I'm going to say we're at about 260,000 wealth. I'm going to go 260. Maybe 250. All right, let's take a look. Oh, 275. 275. That was pretty close. 260, 275. It doesn't matter. We're at raid cap anyway. A secret compartment for mushrooms. Are you happy to see me, or is that a secret compartment of mushrooms? It's both. It's both. Baby needs fungus. Only cannibal. That's how I usually play. Only cannibal is actually easier than a standard run. I wish we were only cannibal right now. Raid. Time immediately. Here we go. Guys, we defeated the first mech cluster. Is it only one group? It's only one group. All right, we can watch it. All right, it's all melee. Are those Neanderthals? Oh my God. 120 all melee Neanderthals versus a leftover mech cluster. The Neanderthals have this. Those mechs are super screwed. We are the Neanderthals. We know like machine. Zug zug. Green Beret Special Forces. I like this guy in the mask. He looks like he definitely belongs there. See their leader. Everyone else has the Green Beret. Mallard walking around. Hey, we got the, oh God, I don't want them to steal it. All right, good. Man, they are wrecking those mechs. Wow. Absolutely wrecked those mechs. We got an opening, right? Yeah, okay. So how many are left? The mechs did some decent work there, but there's still 97 left. Uh-oh. Guys, you and your Toxalope might be in trouble. You should perhaps turn around. See, this shows you, yeah, that it's true. Like I was saying before, if you got a big problem that you don't know how to take care of, just leave it alone and let someone else deal with it. Just ignore it until Neanderthals arrive. That's right. I hear death in the distance. Death in the distance. Let's go, children. It's time to get some shooting experience in, all right? All right. All right, kids. All right, those guys are dead. Never done one yourself? Any pro tips for mountain bases? My biggest tip for a mountain base is to make lots of sections to block melee block bugs. So you see, like most doors, I have the space around it to do 3 melee blockers and weapons behind it. That's the big one. That's the biggest thing with mountain bases is just put in a lot of areas to do melee blocks for insects. Hey, we won! The remaining ones bled out. Hey, let's go get some shooting experience. Hey! Hey, I was supposed to get shooting experience. Watch where you're walking. Look at that. Yeah, there's like a trail of blood from the burning remains of the mech cluster all the way to our mountain entrance. Well, that was the second Cassandra event in a row. Cassandra is up early this morning. But now we have some time to rebuild and do some things that I want to do. I wonder if they turn the infestation down because of the addition of like the pollution insects. Maybe. Look at this dumb prisoner dying over there. What an idiot. God, stupid prisoner. Why don't you just eat the metal bits and ashes from the smelter? Or perhaps lick this sandstone sculpture. You can probably get some nutrients there. It's like a salt lick, and you are an Itakeen. I don't know. Do furries like salt licks? I'm not sure. I don't know much about furries. The first infestation you get are 70% of previous size. Then the max size of infestation is 40% of previous size. That's crazy. It's a sliding linear scale. That's really nuts. You know, there's kind of a big downside to that. So obviously infestations now being easier is whatever, and that makes mountain bases even stronger. But now using an infestation to help against a raid, like if you go out and you cause an infestation like down here, it's not really as great against a raid anymore. We're getting refugees? Is it still not counting children to the population for refugees and stuff like that? More beneficial to let them spawn, but on future raids you can cheese the size of waste pack infestations. The waste pack dissolves in a room spawns 6x6, spawns in the center of the map. Oh, that's weird. I guess I'll take these guys and have them help clean off the map. Maybe we'll get some new breeding material if some of them want to join. Sounds so bad. Hey, refugees. Feel free to hang out for a while, eat some mushrooms, and perhaps later on we can do the breeding. So we're going to start out by setting all of these guys just to haul and clean, and then I'm going to go back through. Chef, you don't have is it an ironic name? You don't have a passion in cooking? Why do they call you chef? Are you really good at making food? No, man, last time I tried to make mac and cheese, it caught on fire. Oh, it's one of those ironic names. The reason why I chose that specifically is my sister-in-law, so my wife's sister, obviously, apparently, when she was a teenager, didn't know how to make macaroni and cheese, and so she put the noodles just straight in a pot and turned the stove on with no water, and they burned. You met people that don't know how to boil water? Yeah. I've always said that I'm under the impression that people say they can't cook. I'm like, anyone can cook. But after I've met a few people, it's like, maybe you shouldn't cook. They break down. We're gonna leave them unrestricted, so hopefully they clear off a bit of the map while they're here. That's all we really care about. All right, Marcunus isn't a dwarf. He's addicted to alcohol now. Oh well. Is that a set of Itakeen? Are they naked? Do these furries just show up 100% naked? Look at this guy. He just likes being naked. Naked speed. Kind of interesting. They don't get malice being naked. Well, they get killed easier, though. Can you be furry and naked? Are they mutually exclusive? Apparently not. Apparently they're not exclusive. Any idea what the next run will be? Oh, I know what the next run's going to be. It's not going to be melee only. It's going to be harder. Chef, I will beat you down. We don't do insults here. Unless you're insulting a mule. I got a comment earlier. And I'm not saying this. I'm like not upset about the comment at all. It's not a bad one. But I got a comment this morning on YouTube because I made a reference to Alf. And they were like, Alf? You're not old enough to have watched Alf? It's like, I think I'm older than what you think I am. So I took that as a compliment. Oh my god. Stop him. Don't freaking kill my colonists, you stupid furry.
We dine in hell.
Do I know of Lamb Chop? No, but I do know about the song. No, of course I know about Lamb Chop. It's the song that never ends. Shut up, Lamb Chop. Goes on and on, my friend. You're 32 and you watched Alf? Yeah, I don't know when they thought Alf aired, but I think Alf aired in the late 80s, early 90s. And then they probably did reruns for another 5 to 10 years. Oh, that's another thing. Same thing happened a few weeks ago where I referenced wait, which show was it I referenced? I'm already forgetting. What was that conversation we had just a few weeks ago? Was Stargate SG-1? No. Oh, you remember the Stargate SG-1 guy? That was so weird. That was very, very bizarre. When was that? A couple months ago? All right, I'll let you guys know about this. So I'm a fan of Stargate, especially SG-1. I've watched through SG-1 probably 6 or 7 times, and it's one of those comfort shows. Like when I'm like sick, when I have the flu, SG-1 is one of the things that I rewatch. There's a couple shows like that. There's you know, Star Trek TNG, there's SG-1, there's Psych. Those are kind of my 3 like comfort when I'm just like flat out can't do anything and I'm just in bed for a week sort of thing, right? And so we were talking about SG-1, and I was like, I recently watched through it while I wasn't feeling well, and there's some episodes that didn't really age well, and there's just some that I don't really like. And when I watch through them, I usually either just don't watch those ones very much, don't pay attention, or I skip through them. And someone in the chat was like, they took big offense to that. Oh man, what were some of the things that they were saying? Which episode? It was the one, like episode 2 or 3 or something like that. And I was like, saying that I didn't like that one with the Mongols and whatnot. I usually skip it, and it's a pretty rough episode to watch and whatnot. And they were basically claiming I wasn't a true fan because I didn't like every episode. And they were serious too. This wasn't like a troll thing, like how they were putting all the stuff. And this guy just wouldn't let up. And they were like putting lulls over and over in the chat. And it was like, haven't even watched, I don't know. Anyway, I won't go into all the details. It was just a silly thing. We ended up having to ban the guy because he just wouldn't stop. Getting banned because you were like a SG-1 gatekeeper. It was so bizarre. So bizarre. It was so weird. It's always an event when someone actually gets banned here. Yeah, because it doesn't happen very much, honestly. Outside of like, you know, bots and just spam or whatever. Like 3 legitimate bans in like 4 years or something. A rare ideology ritual. It has begun. Mortal Kombat, the original movie, it's not a great movie, but it's so nostalgic, and I just love how cheesy it is. It's another one of those movies that I watch, you know, when I'm not feeling well or whatever, and just need something to lay down and watch. Just go in random place in the world and farm ancient dangers. Yes, you can do that. Is there an ancient danger on every map? On average, there's at least one, but it depends on the type of map and the map size. So bigger maps can have more ancient dangers. So if you play with like a 325 tile map, you can actually get the rare map that has 3 ancient dangers, and a lot of them will have 2. But certain maps won't have ancient dangers at all. So for instance, a lot of times swamp maps won't have one because there's just no place for it to fit it in. But in general, most maps have anywhere from 1 to 3 ancient dangers, depending on the size of the map. Mountain maps usually have them, but they're buried in the mountain. So it's really hard to see them without like dev mode or something like that. So most mountain maps at least have one, but they're generally just buried in there somewhere. All right, let's finish off getting these kidneys in there. Let's see who was next. Rabbit hamsters. So for anyone wondering why we're installing detoxifier kidneys in everyone, we are mainly defeating things by melee blocking and using shotguns. So we're very close range dwarves. So one of the problems has been that when we get waster raids, everyone ends up getting affected by the toxin gas, right? Toxic gas. And last time we had some people almost max out on it, which is very scary. So we've started wearing face masks for now and replacing at least one kidney. The kidney gives us 50% protection. We'll probably go through and get a second kidney on everyone before the final, whatever we choose, final ending, final raids, whatever, to make sure we don't have to worry about that too much. Mark Eunice has become an adult. He got full skills. Nice. So tough sanguine. Oh my god. Trigger happy or great memory or hard picks. Trigger happy or great memory. Man, I think I'm just gonna go trigger happy. I think they're just gonna be a fighter. We don't really need shooting. I'm gonna grab it though because we have 3. Destruction and mining. That's fine. We have a lot of those, but it's fine. Is there a reason I don't consider Too Smart an option? Too Smart is basically volatile with fast learner. So Too Smart is literally volatile plus fast learner. So volatile is a pretty bad mood and social fight thing. So I don't want it. You know what? That's a good point, Too Fat Crew. People throwing up TikTok videos are getting like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views on those. You know what the best algorithm time is on like one of those videos? It's 8 seconds. So I think I'm just gonna start posting my streams up in 8-second increments on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. So we're gonna start doing 8-second videos. So I'll start that tomorrow. And then if you guys don't mind, you know, I'll make a playlist of it, but then next week I'll post episode 10,469 where we finally sow our first mushroom. So get ready for that. It's going to be a crazy one. I need to put an intro at the beginning of those 8 seconds. It just takes most of it up. Maybe I should make a parody channel like that. It has an intro and outro, so the actual content is only like a second long. Half second of sponsored ads. I think episode 4,860 was the awesome raid started. Can't wait to see how it ends 1,000 episodes later. Raid's over. It's so funny with those comments too, because like on the comments to a video, I'll literally have like 20 people that's like, thank you. Thank you for releasing this unedited long content. It's what I prefer. I listen to it every day. You know, it helps me sleep. It makes it so I don't feel as alone in my apartment, you know. Thank you for putting these up. I'll have 20 of those, and then I'll have one person piggybacking in at the end, number 21, that's like, you'll never amount to nothing putting these longer form videos up. No one likes them. It's so silly. Like, I gotta tell you, 99% of all the comments I get are nice or just normal comments, you know, they're completely fine. But man, that 1% that we get, it's just so insane sometimes. It's enough to drive you crazy occasionally. Got lost in chat. Why did the kidney instead of the lung gene? So we went through them. So the kidney, if you read this, is toxic resistance. How well this creature resists toxic buildup, right? And then the detoxifier lung, where is that one? Is environmental. So it also impacts the gas and stuff in the area. It seems like having both of them would be the best, but the kidneys are half the cost and they help us. So the kidneys are half the cost and they already give us a 50%. So it's going to make that buildup so low that we shouldn't have to worry about too much, especially with our extra immunity as the Dwarven gene. But the big reason is that I can make 2 of the kidneys for every lung. So we're starting off with a kidney in order to spread it through more dwarves more quickly, because I would rather have 2 dwarves have 50% toxic resist each than 1 dwarf have a 60% gas resist, if that makes sense. So it's basically making our entire colony more resistant faster rather than making one at a time better. Hopefully that makes sense. Do I like mountain bases or non-mountain bases more? I think mountain bases are a lot easier. I think mountain bases are a lot easier in the long run, so very defensive. So I kind of like having mountain bases, but I feel like they're a little too strong to do super often. So I probably prefer an open map usually, just because it's more challenging. You get 100% resist with 2 kidneys? You do, yep. There's also a gene trait. Yes, I'm not using the gene one, but yes, there is a gene trait too. We just sold a bunch of beer, so I want to restock our coolers of beer before we get to sell anymore. Gold is the main thing that we need. So we'll go ahead and just trade in for some of this gold. How long has it been since I've done an ice or a desert map? I did a desert map in 1.3. The last time I did like ice sheet or sea ice, if you're talking about one of those two, was like 1.1 or 1.0. They felt kind of boring. How do you stop someone from picking out on food? So you can't really. So the Gourmand breakdown can happen no matter what their mood is. So that's why one reason why Gourmand and Pyro are bad. Even if they're kept happy all the time, they will still have the breakdown. So a Gourmand is going to have that minor breakdown no matter what. On average, he's going to have that breakdown about once every 50 days. You can just assume about once every year that a Gourmand is going to do a food binge that you can't really do anything about. Now, you can arrest them and release them if you want, or you can have someone beat them, and hopefully you don't, you know, kill them or maim them, whatever, sever anything. But you can do that, either of those, if you want to stop it, just like you could with any breakdown. But in general, yeah, no matter what you do, a Gourmand, even, man, today's the day of the bugs. A Gourmand is just going to have that problem. That's it. It's one of the downsides. A Gourmand, so the main downsides of a Gourmand are that they will eat basically one extra meal a day. So they're going to eat one meal extra a day. They're going to get a mood hit for being hungry and stuff faster because they're going to do that. They're going to have an extra walking trip a day because they have that extra need, extra hunger rate. And they're going to have that breakdown no matter what. That's just part of it. How long does the food binge last? It lasts quite a while, yeah. They can go through a lot of food. Did pigouts from Gourmand get stopped by that sidecast? Yes, that is one way to do it. There is a sidecast, Word of Serenity. If you have Word of Serenity, you can cast Word of Serenity on someone having a breakdown. It will stop the breakdown, but it puts them into a psychic coma for a little bit. Are bugs turned off? Yeah, bugs are turned off. What is this, you might ask? This mega spider bug? It's a mirage. Mirage under the mountain. That was it. Dug Too Deep doesn't scale. That's as big as the Dug Too Deep can ever get, so they're nothing. You're crazy. There are no bugs. Having to rearm them is annoying. Yeah. Hey. No. Alcohol binge. Would you put that down? We will die without it. You're just some visitor. How's it possible for them to eat that much? I don't know. It is crazy. They can go through crap loads of meals. So the breakdown for the Gourmand is counted as a minor breakdown, and it can replace other minor breakdowns as well, which is kind of nice. But in general, like I said, even when they're happy, they're going to have that breakdown once every 50-ish days. And so Pyro's burning or Pyromaniac breakdown is a extreme breakdown, but again, they can have it even when they're happy. So it's nice that they can replace a different breakdown with it. So one that could have been worse, but it is annoying that even if they're happy, they'll eventually have one. A tantrum. You take out that. Imagine punching a steel spear until it breaks.
Our modest
I gave up. He's gonna punch that gun instead.
Praise the sub.
Punch that gun. Does food quality affect the time between Gourmand breakdowns? It does not. I wish Gourmand had some stuff like that. I've talked about before that I think a really cool addition to Gourmand would be that, hey, it's that chef guy, would be that a trade-off. So they're going to eat more. They're going to have that breakdown. But it'd be really cool if a Gourmand could have like a proc where they had a chance to turn a simple meal into a fine meal. That would be pretty cool. You know, then I might take a couple of Gourmands. So occasionally they would, while making a simple meal, it would just become a better meal, you know? Little things like that would be kind of cool. I think there are some mods that do little things like that as well. That's a lot of blood. Ah, no, this is a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood. That's not a knife. Hey, there's a food binge now. A knight has made a request. A mechanoid swarm. A pod contains these dangers. 2 Apocryton. Let's do it. I might have to have this entire segment of this song in the edited video, even though it would be out of place. Just because it's too good. It's too good. Can't cut this out. Just let it go. Just let it ride. Yeah, they're in there. They're in there, Barbara. They're just not in there 50 times. Yeah. Thank you, Barbara, for the feedback. I do not have a VOD up for Ice Sheet. Last time I did it, it was like 1.0, so it's been forever. Can you resurrect enemy mechs? You cannot. Why is it always here? Hey, I saw you. You were awake. What? That Apocryphon's like, no, I was always laying down. We're not active. Like, what? It's always in this spot, yeah. Maybe that's one of the few spots. Well, we got one here, too. Defoliator will never reach me. It has a maximum range of 100 tiles. That's a blood trail, yep. Hope I do a Combat Extended run one day. Do the Igor. Still remember people telling you 5% Igor was impossible? Yeah. I think my next run will be impossible, but yeah, I actually, it's funny because the Igor run is up on YouTube if anyone wants to check it out, !Igor. But the funny thing about Igor is I also thought when I loaded up, I was like, this is completely unfair. I don't know if we can ever get ahead. It's just, I don't know that we can do it 5% no pause. And then I figured out that turrets on Igor were like just godly. It was so crazy. Sometimes we talk about why turrets are so bad, but the Igor run showed why it would be bad if they got cranked up to that level. It was so insane. Double damage turrets. Holy crap. Double damage turrets. It's such a bizarre thing to see. We had like miniguns that were taking out centipedes. It was like I've not played the Void Storyteller yet. A Void Storyteller is definitely built around having other mods to deal with it. I've looked at it. I think we could probably beat the Void Storyteller if I just did a cheese run of it. So I might do that sometime. It will probably hard even with cheese. Let's go ahead and smooth the rest of the stuff that I haven't. Just to get all that done. Like I said, we're at cap anyway, so we might as well. All right, I don't want to smooth the surface where the enemies are walking, so I'm going to not start until there. You need a roughened surface to make enemies break their ankles as they run across. Mud traps would be fun. I used to use a mod a long time ago. So the archive channel actually has the Amazon run on it, which is when probably the last time I used heavily modded. And I used to use a mod where you could dig like trenches for water, right? You can dig moats basically. And it was so strong. It was so overpowered. Enemies are so slow. Like walk speed 30%. Walk speed 30%. So I would like, with that mod, I would put water inside the whole kill box, and enemies just would basically not be able to get to us before they died, no matter what. See the video of people using toxic. Oh god, there's already one. Attacked immediately. Crap.